It's like with the ark, but of arcs. There's some kids here would start throwing their Bibles at the screen. Right? They've been trained what the ark actually looked like, shape. The artist depictions aren't exactly accurate. This was one, and then here's a. Back in 1917, in the area of Iraq where the tower would have been, a couple of archaeologists found something called the Tower of Babylon stele. Stele just means upright slab. And on that slab, you can see it here better. They kind of outlined it on the Smithsonian. There are some writings, and then there is an outline of Babel. Now, that was built well prior to him, but he was probably in the process of renovating it. In fact, there's a better depiction of it. On Google Earth, and sure enough, you can find this on Google Earth. And the foundation is still there. It's absolutely amazing. Get this. The Great wrote about it. He wanted it kind of torn down and rebuilt again, but he died before they had done that. So this is something known in extra-biblical history. Here's something else that's really, bake them thoroughly. They had brick for stone and they had asphalt for mortar. There's something in there that's quite significant that's very easy to miss. Bake them thoroughly. Now, sometimes they would take their brick, and how many of you ever seen the Ten Commandments with, somebody said it, straw? So some time period. So they took some clay, they took the sand, they took the straw, they put it into the brick molds, and then what they would do is they would let it sun dry most often. So what they had determined based on, they have these machines that crush the bricks. What they had determined that with a sun-baked brick, the largest you could build, a pyramid structure, was about 1,500 feet tall. Now, then the brick becomes 7.5 times stronger. So that's big, but I'm just saying, that little tidbit tells you this is a real event. They're building a large tower. The other thing that was interesting, we'll go back to that tiered structure we saw you go back to that slide real quick. The tiered structure is what we see when we look around the world at ziggurats. They're not round like a cake. They're square, they're pyramidal with tiers to it. Now, the Hebrew does not have a word for that type of a tower. The word in the Hebrew text for tower is migdal, which means like a flower bed. Some of you ever do that? It's the idea behind that. Fascinating stuff. But it's interesting. We've got people hunting all over Ararat looking for the ark, and it's not there. Trust me, they're never going to find the ark. The ark is not on Ararat. You know why? And I have a friend of mine, Andrew Snelling, works at the Creation Museum. He's a professional geologist. And he wrote an article, and he made this very clear. Ararat was a volcanic mountain system. You have flood deposits, and then on top of the flood deposits, there's a ton of volcanic material after the flood. Wooden boats don't do well when they're contacted by lava. So I don't know why they're bothering looking there for it. Second reason why I think you'll never find it, not only would it probably have been burned to a crisp, think about this. You are Noah and his family, right? And you've been on this boat for 371 days. That's how long they're on the ark, 371 days. And the floodwaters recede off the land. Now you're going to have very rich soil now from all the things that were dissolved and broken up in there. How long does it take to make trees? All right, so you have a choice. You can take some of the waterlogged logs that may be still in the surface, or you got this massive wooden structure behind you. In either case, you've got a good reason why you shouldn't be. I don't think you should go visit that area, but I don't think it's too safe right now. Yeah, fascinating. You know, it's funny, too. I was hoping built on a boat for 371. They were human beings just like us. They weren't anything that might have been off color, things like that. They were human like we were, stuck in there. Tell me it wouldn't have been a blast, okay? Would have been a blast. Every time he laid down on the pillow, what is this stuff? I mean, we would have had just so much fun with that. But it's real history. It's real history. But that little tidbit there mentioned, in my talk on the ark, there were over 200 seemed to match the flood account. Now, the kind of ceremony, the family